A new round of negotiations over the West Asia war is set to kick off, with Iranian negotiators who arrive in Zurich and the U.S. Vice President on the way. And this comes as Tehran said it was closing the Strait of Hormuz again over Israeli attacks in Lebanon. And before boarding his flight to Europe, Vance said he hopes to make progress on the nuclear issue and the Lebanon ceasefire issue.
Looking forward to starting the technical talks with the Iranians, the Pakistanis, and the Qataris. Our understanding is that the Iranians just landed. The Qataris, the Pakistanis, and some of our technical negotiators to build the ground. So look, we'll have a couple days to talk. We're putting it, this thing kicks off in the right way. There's a lot to discuss, but we're going to go through it all.
The Iranian negotiating team includes Parliamentary Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baqir said the delegation would demand implementation of other parties' commitments under the deal.
Well, the commitments are very clear. Clause 1 of the Memorandum of Understanding is the most important part of the parties' mutual commitments, namely ending the war on all fronts, including in Lebanon. We have adhered to our commitments. The other side was obliged to compel those under its influence, specifically the Zionist regime, to cease fire in Lebanon. In this regard, we have seen that they have failed to fulfill their obligations, and this constitutes a clear violation of the ceasefire understanding.
At the same time, mediator Pakistan said that Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Munir left for Switzerland to participate in the talks on implementation of MOU. Pakistan's Foreign Ministry said that it will continue to support the implementation of the understandings between Iran and the United States. Meanwhile, Iran's top Joint Military Command said that the Strait of Hormuz would be closed to vessel traffic, citing alleged violation of a ceasefire agreement by the U.S. and Israel. The IRGC warned ships not to approach the waterway, a vital conduit for global oil and gas supplies. The statement added that the closure was the first step in response to what it called violations of commitments, warning that further measures would follow if aggression continued. Opening the Strait of Hormuz was one of the points of the Memorandum of Understanding signed by the U.S. and Iran. Iranian forces say the decision to shut the strait was taken in response to Israel's attacks on southern Lebanon, which they describe as a breach of Tehran's agreement with Washington. Before the announced closure of Hormuz, maritime trackers reported that shipping traffic through the strait had reached its busiest level in 2 months. U.S. President Donald Trump and the U.S. military have, however, denied Iran's claims that it had closed the Strait of Hormuz, saying the critical waterway remained open and the U.S. forces were monitoring the situation to ensure that it continued. In a Truth Social post, Trump said that there will be no tolls in the Hormuz Strait for 60 days during the ceasefire period, and there will be no tolls after the 60-day period has expired unless they are imposed by and for the U.S. On the other hand, Lebanon's health ministry said late on Saturday that fresh Israeli strikes in the south and east of the country had killed 7 people. 5 people, including a woman and child, were killed in the east of the country, and 2 Palestinians were killed in the southern Tyre region. An Israeli army official said on Saturday that the military had received orders from the country's political leadership to halt fighting in southern Lebanon. The announcement came amid intense clashes between Israeli forces and Hezbollah fighters in southern Lebanon, with both sides accusing the other of breaching the U.S. renewed ceasefire.